Sophomore out of Iowa, not the sophomore out of Purdue, goes 4th overall to the Sacramento Kings. Keegan Murray, the 6'8", 215-pound sophomore for the Hawkeyes, a first-team All-American, Big Ten tournament MVP, 23.5 points per game. Led major conferences 4th in D1. He increased his scoring averages past season by 16 points, the largest jump by a Big Ten player in 49 years. Keegan Murray headed to the Kings. And Adam, we talked about this in terms of perhaps this was a better fit for Sacramento instead of Jaden Ivey.
Yeah, and you have to give Jaden Ivey and his camp credit because they dictated where he wanted to go, and he's going to end up in Detroit because of it. Here's what Sacramento is getting in Keegan Murray, though. They are getting an ultra-efficient scorer who doesn't need a ton of volume in order to put points on the board. He can play with his back to the basket. He can stretch the floor. He runs the floor exceptionally hard. He's got a terrific left hand. So when you talk about someone who can be a versatile scoring threat in structure without needing to dominate the basketball, that is going to be a valuable addition for almost any NBA team, and he's also got a very high floor. I think he's going to make an immediate impact next season.
I'll give this a B because I do like Keegan Murray, but I can't give it an A because it's not the guy I would have taken. The guy I would have taken is Jaden Ivey. But perhaps it's important to look at this from Sacramento's perspective. They are motivated to win now. Keegan Murray might help you win now more than Jaden Ivey can help you win now. Also, Jaden Ivey made it crystal clear he didn't want to be there. And though I still fundamentally believe in the draft process, you can't get bullied by prospects in their camps. You got to take the best player available. I can understand if a guy, if you're iffy on it anyway, and the guy made it clear he didn't want to be there, like moving in another direction to get a prospect who was a tremendous college basketball player this past season. Like Oscar Tshiebwe should have been the National Player of the Year. That's the way I voted. But this guy got my second place vote. He was terrific, and it's not what I would have done, but I understand the motivation behind it.
How are you feeling if you're a Kings fan right now? Well, one of our producers is Ryan Stryker, a huge Kings fan. How do you think he's feeling right now? You wanted Jaden Ivey. He's getting Keegan Murray. So he should be happy or what?
I think he should feel like this is a B. This is a B move because, and this is the problem I have with the Kings. And now you have a new coach who I think is hopefully will do a great job with Mike Brown. But this is another Kings type of a move. This is not what a team like the Warriors or the San Antonio Spurs or the Miami Heat would do. They would have taken Jaden Ivey. But again, with Keegan Murray, I know what they're thinking. You're looking at what Draymond Green does for the Warriors because rebounding is a huge part of what's happening in the NBA and trying to manufacture points and get second shots. And he rebounds the ball at a high level. When you get over 8 rebounds a game, you know, in the Big Ten, and you have the outside shot and you can switch pick and rolls, that's what Sacramento's looking for. But I agree with Adam. This was a force by Jaden Ivey and his team because he didn't want to play in Sacramento.
And the fact that Avery can say this is a Kings move and everybody knows what he means, that's a real issue for this franchise.
Right.
And before you can ever flip that, you've got to flip your franchise. If Toronto did this, we would sit here and go, maybe they know what they're doing. If San Antonio did this, if Miami did this. But when Sacramento does this, based on the history, they don't get the benefit of the doubt. So nobody's going to say they were right until it is undeniable 2 years from now that they were right.
Yeah, because most recently, 2018, they took Marvin Bagley III, and Luka Doncic went right after. And Marvin Bagley doesn't play for the Kings anymore. He plays for the Pistons, who are on the clock right now. On the clock right now for us is Matt Norlander. Matt, you had Keegan Murray in this range, this 3 to 6 range. You had him going 4th overall to the Kings. Now you look really smart. You're smart already, but why does this make sense for Keegan to the Kings?
Well, it's not that I had it projected. I just had sources telling me that he would go to Sacramento, and that wound up being the case overall. So credit to the sources whose information was correct there. Real quick on this one, I'm on the same page as everyone on the desk there. I love Jaden Ivey and his potential at the next level a lot more than Keegan Murray. In fact, I might be more down on Murray, relatively speaking, than maybe anyone. I think he'll be a fine player, but I'm worried about – I understand why the Kings did this. Getting Ivey there with Fox and Davion Mitchell, who was great. Maybe it's too many of the same kind of guy at the same position. They wanted to dodge that. But I almost wonder if Keegan Murray, his future might have been better, brighter had he gone to a more stable, better organization? That remains to be seen. He was a wonderful college player whose ascent has been amazing, and he's got a wonderful reputation there. I'm not surprised by the pick at all. I think Detroit privately was hoping / believing this would happen as well, so that Ivy could fall to them at 5. And this is all we asked for, gentlemen. We've got an incredibly chaotic top 5. This is something that we will look back on and arbitrate for years to come. From Banchero at 1 all the way down to Ivy not even going to 4 and slipping likely to 5 here. Incredible night. We'll wait and see what happens with Keegan Murray. Sacramento, can you get out of this rut? You're asking Murray to be that guy. It remains to be seen if he'll wind up being that.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.